Mike Perry here. This is going to be my take on the fight and everything that took place afterwards. First, congratulations to Lopez on his victory, but I have to do a big shout out to Codrum Topic for the sick background music. Warning, there will be some blurry footage on here, so be prepared for that. Mainly, I wanted to just have the fighters in the background as I kind of rant about some of the things that I've seen over the past couple of days after the fight that I would say is a little bit on the sad side for such a good bout. This was a clear victory for Lopez without question, from me anyway. There was not too much that I would say Lopez needed to do as far as the way this bout went. The main thing would be basically Lomachenko. Now on the side of Lomachenko, like some of the commentators that were there and the sports media outlets the day after were basically, they were like, where was Lomo? The Lomo that ESPN was so high on. Even during the fight, they kept bringing up how Lomachenko had really great technique and footwork, and we didn't see that throughout the whole fight. There was like glimpses of it, but not during the whole entire fight. Even the commentators during the bout were talking about how Lomachenko likes to pull in information or data, in a sense, from the first few rounds, maybe 2 or 3 rounds, to dissect the opponent. Where here, Lopez clearly was the victor throughout the first 6 rounds, if not more, in the beginning of the bout. I would possibly give Lomachenko 1 round in the first 6, but I would say clearly Lopez was taking over that fight in the beginning. Again, like the first 6 to 7 rounds, I would give at least 6 of them out of the first 7 to Lopez easy. But Lopez clearly won this bout, and the ranking of Lomachenko alone, honestly, was just too high, too early. I mean, this was going to be their 16th fight between the two of them, and they're both already in the top 10 of the pound for pound rankings. I mean, come on, have at least 20 fights minimum, I would say. I mean, you got guys that are not even ranked in pound for pound with over 40 fights and 40 knockouts, and they're not ranked in there yet. I mean, I understand it's the game of boxing, or sport of boxing, I should say, and they want to give credit to Lomachenko and some of these other guys because of their technique and the way they fight, which is commendable and everything like that. But we're talking about pound for pound. We're talking about guys that basically, they either have a really good technique in winning their fights, or they are purely strong and can beat anyone no matter what their style is. And that's where I get a little, annoyed with how they're ranking guys. I mean, I can't see Lomachenko being overspent. I can't see anyone, honestly, under 20 bouts being overspent. But I'll be piggybacking on what Robert Garcia was saying about how the guys, or the commentators and sports analysts under ESPN, are going to root for, obviously the guys that are in top ranking under their banner. And to some degree, I can understand that, but let's be real about it sometimes. You got guys that are just clearly a better breed of boxers that are just not getting that credibility for what they've accomplished. I mean, yeah, you could say, well, Wilder, he's a knockout bruiser or puncher or what have you. And I know that Tony Atlas has been really critical of him. But at the end of the day, he's still knocking out guys. He's still beating over 40 guys and became a champion. So him not being ranked just baffles me, to be honest. Bringing it back to Lopez and Lomachenko, I would say that a rematch is warranted, being that Lomachenko did go out and get those 3 belts before losing them to Lopez, and it would be the champion's choice that he would give him a rematch, but here's something that I didn't understand. Why would Lomachenko's team, Top Rank, not have a rematch clause in the bout regardless? Like, that was strange to me. Like, I understand the idea that, you know, you have faith in your guy and you think that he's gonna win regardless, but with the idea that you fought for 3 belts and in this one bout that could possibly be, I mean, any bout honestly that he would have had, he could lose his belt, not have the ability to just rematch that person so you can get your belts back. I mean, even when Anthony Joshua had his bout with Ruiz, he had a rematch clause in there. And that's, again, to safeguard the idea of having that immediate chance to get your belts back if you were to lose them. And for Top Rank, the Lomachenko team, to not have that in there just didn't make sense. So if they're going to have trouble getting a rematch at this point in time, that's due to their own fault. So, I mean, unless they're going to offer Lopez like crazy max money, like I think he got possibly anywhere between $2 to $3 million for this bout. I would have to look that up. Excuse me. But outside of that, it's going to be his choice to make a decision on fighting him again if he wanted to. And I think I saw somewhere that he was thinking about going up in weight. So who knows? I mean, he might still be able to go up in weight and fight for his titles coming back down. But I think that you can't hold multiple titles for some of the belts anyway. So that might be a tough situation where he might have to vacate a title or 2, maybe even 3, being that he has 4. But we'll see how it goes. Now on to some of the stuff that I heard about Lomachenko after the bout. How they were talking about one that he still had a shoulder injury. Wow, Top Rank with a fighter with a shoulder injury after the bout. I wonder where that came from. Anyway, then we have something on the lines of not being able to train for about a week, spar for a week, I should say. And that they needed to have shots or something as well. I do apologize for not having all that information on this video, but it is out there for you to see and look up yourself. But my main thing is that all these things are coming up after the bout. Like, we didn't see, you know, an issue with Lomachenko when he was doing his crazy little exercises where he was doing like handstands on his knuckles. That was posted on ESPN, and you can look up, I think it's on Instagram as well. And him doing all of his other little training techniques and things of that nature, that you didn't see anything as far as delays with his shoulders or what have you. And like Lopez even mentioned, it's like that kind of discredits you, because these guys don't all come in at 100% regardless. But at the end of the day, when you sign up for a bout, you know, you got to still give it your all. So going into the fight, knowing that you have a certain injury, what have you, you still got to put out, you know, a decent effort or a strong effort. I'm a homer for Floyd Mayweather Jr., so please excuse it. There was a bout where Floyd Mayweather Jr., after hitting his opponent, and I'll have to look that up. I'm not looking that up. You could look it up. Anyway, but he actually took a knee. And not from a punch from the opponent. He punched the opponent and hurt his hand. And he backed up and he just took a knee. So he had got the normal 8 count. But that was because he injured himself. Now, he could have probably still fought with that hand being injured and not lose a round for an 8-10 round, giving it to an opponent. But the mindset of saying, hey, you know what? If I rest his hand for 8 seconds, that's taking off time on the clock as well. Maybe evade for a little bit longer to get back to the corner. Assess what the damages on my hand is. All right, make a game plan. I'm not going to use his hand during the rest of the bout. and beat your opponent, that's a smart champion. That's a pound for pound champion. But if you're going to go in knowing that you have a shoulder injury, you have to adjust. So you have to adjust to what your situation is. And that was not taking place for Lomachenko during the bout. And to have this stuff come out afterwards is just bad press for him, to be honest. And I would be hard pressed, to be honest, as the person you want to rematch, that you're going to have an excuse the next time we fight as well. I mean, what if I come up with an excuse? What's going to happen then? Are you going to, be, oh, yeah, you know what, that can happen, this and that. Oh, you're going to discredit me to some degree or talk trash about me as well. And it can be understood that would be the case. But, again, Lomachenko's team, at the time of the bout, they just really didn't put that urgency during the fight. And that's just the way it was. I mean, even in this last bit of footage, you see Lomachenko actually nod his head like, yep, he won the fight. But that's just the way it goes. Thanks again for watching. You'll find links for JennyKies and Codrum topic at the bottom of the video. Take care and be safe.